Thanks for joining me for this dresser transformation. I'm Hannah Erica, and I got this long dresser that came with a mirror off of Facebook Marketplace for free. I decided to sell it separately. I thought the dresser would do better on its own. I was happy when I first saw it, but it does need a lot of work. The drawers are broken a little bit. The slides are broken a little. And on seeing it, I decided to kind of utilize what I had because I knew I had to put some money into it. So I right away just started taking the handles out, and I thought I would reuse the handles, which I'm going to tell you right now that I didn't, because I was trying to save money when I saw how much work it needed. But I had a vision at first, and so I decided to sand down a couple of drawers and just see how the wood look, which I'm going to tell you later that wasn't going to work out because of the design on some of the drawers. It just wasn't. It was going to be too much work to sand down, honestly. And the base, which was solid wood, I had said I'm going to sand this down bare and reshape it for a modern look. This is back in October. Now it's January the 27th. I bought some slides. This big thing that's been sitting there in the back of all my videos is finally going to get worked on. It's utilizing 2 of the shelves and a chair. So once I get this thing out of here, my place is going to be so much more organized. It needed a lot of work, so I said, let me just take the staples out of this drawer and just kind of glue it back together. This was probably like on a Thursday or something. I was just wanted to work on something because there's a lot of things in this piece that would need a lot of time. You see there's no slide on the back of it. There's just so much to do. And I said, well, just gluing one drawer together couldn't hurt, you know. I only got about 2 clamps that are large enough to do something like this. So I said I might as well just do one and then leave. I really wasn't doing a lot of work on this. I probably was working on something else in another area, but I just said, let me just glue this together and, you know, have less work to do when Saturday comes and I get a little bit of help on some of these, on this project. So now my honey bear is here. It's like a Saturday. He's going to cut the base for me. I did have the tool for it and I was going to do it, but it would have been my first time doing it. And since I have him here, like, why not just get him to kind of get the base for me? And then the slides had so many problems and we got to replace half of them. So he has the right tool to get in there and get those slides out because a screwdriver won't stand up in there. And they're really buried in it deep and just dug in. So he's going to be working on the base and he's going to be getting the slides out, like getting some of like the handiwork done so that I can get into the more cosmetic things. And I decided on sealing the back of the drawers and filling them in because I knew I was going to go with a different drawer handle. I had an idea what I wanted, but I knew that it was not going to be these holes, so I decided to work on that and kind of, be on the side and do my own thing, because these do take time too. So I basically stuffed the hole as much as possible with the wood filler and scraped across the top and took a look at it and kept going. I hope you like what you're seeing so far and want to subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to grow it and bring more content that you want to see. The next day I came down to sand the drawers down and make sure everything was flush with the filler. I don't always do it, but I decided to tape the drawers because I didn't want any paint to get on it. I'm going to be using chalk paint for it. While the drawers were in the basement, I was in the garage just trying to take off the rest of the stain or coat that's on top of this dresser. I'm gonna tell you, I wasn't super impressed with the look of the dresser. I felt like it wasn't looking better with sanding and it was having a lot of issues, so I stopped using the power sander and use the hand sander to kind of just take off the shininess of the coating so I can work with it. But and then I started doing little things to it. You'll see something later, but I skipped all of those to try to see what I can do with it. I just didn't think the wood looked, I can't explain it. It wasn't like this super, super gorgeous wood. So I had to come up with what I was going to do to the top. I didn't know what I was going to do. So the base was solid wood, and it was good enough to kind of leave more natural, or at least not be painted, to have it stained. But I just wanted to get all of this the stain that's on there off. And I had plenty of Krylon left. So in black, but I promise you that it's going to look so different, beyond different. And this is something that I have not done with my other pieces. I know I've done black, but it sells. I know I've said it before, but it sells. I have people actually getting these things to put in their bedrooms, in their guest rooms, and so when you're flipping, you have to consider, like, where's it going? And if I make it, some crazy color, who's gonna buy it? So, and especially I'm a beginner, and so when I get these pieces, I need them to actually make me money. So I decided to try something that I did in the past on a piece. It did sell, but it took me so long to sell it. And I wasn't impressed with the top. So this is the piece that inspired me to do another one. But this time is going to be a little bit of the stains showing through. I tried different stains on the top. That's why you can see it looks sort of like different, like some stains on there. So I was trying different looks. And I said if I just cover some of it up and show a little bit of the stain kind of popping through a little bit, I think it would be more prettier than to have it all out and be okay looking, because it's just not the prettiest looking wood for me. So very last minute, I just was like, I'm gonna take this tape and give it that, stripe look. This is fast forwarded like twice as fast. It's very time consuming to do this. And I got some little sticky spray. It's my first time using it because I thought it would help keep things more in line. I think it was a little better than without it. This brush is so essential to have, like a nice square brush. It just really helps get things right where you need it to be. It was the evening, and even though it wasn't quite dry, after about 2 coats, I made sure the top had 2 coats, I just wanted to see a little bit of what I did and how it looked. So I just grabbed a few off just to kind of take a look at it. And I was really happy with it, you know? Then I had to think of, okay, how am I going to stain the rest? And so I came up with an idea to use very thin, my little thin throwaway brushes and my special walnut, which I've used on so many projects. I can't believe this can is still around. I still got about 1/4 of a can left, and I won't need too much. I'm using this little piece of a water bottle. I cut the bottom. It could be used like a little throwaway. I just wanted something I could just throw away. Throwaway brushes, throwaway container to use to apply it. And I gently, with like no drip, kind of rubbed the stain in. And yes, this was quite time consuming, but I felt like it was worth it. First, I was kind of dead set on trying to fix some of the imperfections, but then I said I'm probably going to ruin it, and I should just let it be and just like do the stain and finish it up. Some drawer repairs I did. One of them had the drawer, the slide on it, and I just lined it up with the other drawer and kind of did some quick repairs with it. Some needed more work than others, and since I really didn't think I did such a great job on repairing the slides, I didn't want to record it because it wasn't some kind of great example for anyone to follow. For these, they were pretty simple. I just put some heavy cans on it and moved on. This is just a top coat clear poly. I decided to just do that for the very first one. I always seem to put a clear coat spray on it for the first one no matter what I do. Even though I know with a piece this big, I definitely have to come through with the actual poly in a brush. And this is what I did. I just put the polyacrylic in satin finish, and I did put a little bit of the paint in there, of course, so they won't get this filmy look. It is a little scary when you first put it on because it always seems to look kind of filmy, and then it gets bubbly, and I'm like, so I'm constantly just rubbing it in, making sure I don't have too much of the product on there, and just, rubbing anything that's too much. And so it was a pretty long process, and I showed just a little bit of it because you know what you really got to do. I let it dry for like an hour or so in between coats, but before I do anything else with it, it sets to stay overnight. I decided to just put it on the wood and the stain and the black, and it really didn't change it much. I was surprised, and it was fine. I thought it would change the color of the wood, but it didn't. So I was happy with that. So my honey bear came back to handle the handles. And so I just thankfully didn't have to do that. So this is the finished look. I want it to be more warm to create like a warm ambiance because it's such warm colors. Unfortunately, it's in my basement, but I think it looks gorgeous. Let me know what you think of this transformation. And as always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Give it a like if you think it looks great. Thanks so much.